A mum in the US has been trolled after admitting online to doing exactly that. There she is with her 3-year-old. Madison Simpson was even branded a paedophile for her TikTok videos with her daughter Amaya, and she's now weaning Amaya off breastfeeding after the intense backlash, and she's accepting, she says, that maybe it was becoming an addiction for Amaya. Well, the World Health Organization says babies should be breastfed exclusively for the first 6 months of their lives, and then they can be breastfed for 2 years or longer. But do you think 3 is really pushing it somewhat? I don't know, Karen, what you think?
Oh, God, yeah, absolutely.
Just too long?
Far too long, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no benefit, is there, for a child to be breastfed beyond 6 months, really. I think it's quite a selfish thing on the mother's part.
Do you?
I do, actually, yeah.
Why do you feel that?
Well, I just think, that's not good emotionally for that child. I mean, what does that child do, later in life? And the attachment and, like you said, it becomes an addiction. And an addiction for that child too, because they only know the boob kind of thing. And it's like, it's just not normal, is it?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I find it very weird.
You find it weird?
I do, yeah.
Afua, I don't know if you breastfed or not?
I did up until 9 months with Naima, but also bottle fed as well, because we had some issues at the beginning, and the most important thing was that she was fed and healthy and happy. I personally think, 3 years is a bit too long. I think also, why people reacted to that video so much is the way she's carrying that child. The child looks quite big as well. And so I think people were just like, it's jarring the way that it looks. I think that was part of the reason why people reacted to it too strongly. I think for me personally, over 2 years is a bit too long, but also because breastfeeding is such an intense debate, it's so much pressure on mums to be able to do it, and if you can't do it, that's a whole other thing as well. And I remember feeling so guilty that I couldn't solely breastfeed, and it was actually my mum, who used to be a midwife, that was like, look, the most important thing is that she's healthy and happy, and so are you. And it's just such an emotive discussion. Mums know what's best for their children, but I do think above 2 years is a bit too long, just for me personally.
Okay, I'm going to make the assumption that you didn't breastfeed.
No, I gave that one a miss.
Yeah.
However, I do like a set lunch, and I was out with my wife last week, and I think women.
This is why he mentioned that he went to Bruce Springsteen with his mother.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
hope it wasn't for that reason.
No, not at all.
Okay,
not
just in the interval before the show.
Exactly. I think women literally do whatever you like. But I was out for a set lunch the other day with my wife, and a 5-year-old ran up to his mum, lifted up his top, and started breastfeeding at the table.
And this was a 5-year-old?
Well, they were the same. I've got a 5-year-old.
Size as your 5-year-old.
So
a kid that was running around.
And that's fine if that's what they want to do. Great, but I have a slight concern that 5-year-old is not getting the same pleasure that the mum might be getting from it. And if the 5-year-old is teased by his friends because there is no nutritional benefit once they're at that age anyway, if they're teased by it, then that makes me feel a little bit sorry for the 5-year-old. But mums, do what you like.
Let's go straight to Kitty, who's in Bournemouth. Kitty, how about you? What did you do?
Hiya.
Hi.
I breastfed my daughter until she was 4.
And why? Why did you do that?
I don't know. I just thought, there's obviously health benefits from breast milk. I just thought it was best to do it as long as possible.
Right. And how did it work out for the two of you?
I think she's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Did people comment on it? Because obviously she was getting bigger and bigger. She was talking. She had a full set of teeth.
Well,
she was eating steak and chips and a burger and everything, and then coming to you for breastfeed. Did people say anything to you?
She's quite small, so it didn't look like she was 4.
Right.
So I didn't get many comments, but my mum, she breastfed me until she was 4. So I thought it was normal. I thought most people did that.
And you heard Karen Millen saying she thinks it's kind of selfish of the mum, and that the mum is getting more out of it than the child is. Were you getting a lot out of it? Did it mean a lot to you?
Well, I felt like it was a good way to bond with my daughter, but I don't think I benefited from it in any other way. I think I was mainly doing it for her because she wanted to
And tell me about weaning her off it, Kitty, because by the time she's 4, she could ask for it, even demand it, even have a tantrum if you didn't let her do it.
Yeah, she did have a lot of tantrums. It was a little bit hard, so maybe it's easier when they're younger. But she was on the bottle for a while, but she's fine now. I don't think it was that hard. It was probably the same as if she was younger.
OK, final question. If you had the opportunity all over again, would you do the same again?
I think so, yeah. I think even longer, maybe.
Even longer? Wow. Thanks, Kitty, very much. Thank you. Nice to hear from you. Let's go to Sharon in Buckinghamshire. Sharon, you also breastfed your son for a long time.
Yes, I did.
And explain what the thought process was behind that.
Well, I have 4 boys, and he's my second born, and he was allergic to everything, the formula, all different milks. So to feed him, I had to breastfeed him. So that's why I breastfed him until he was 3.
And then what happened at the age of 3? Did it just suddenly feel not right to you, or did he not feel right doing it? How did it end?
Well, with teeth. I was very dubious. But I think he wanted to be like everyone else, so he sort of weaned himself, actually.
So that sounds quite natural, quite organic. And also you're helping him with his allergies, and he suddenly at 3 thought, all right, Mum, thanks a lot, goodbye. That sounds quite great, doesn't it? I think it does.
Yeah, well, I just
think that sounds great, Sharon.
No, I agree. It does sound great, Sharon, but I just sometimes worry, and I'm not talking about you, Sharon, about the use of allergies as kind of, we do this because X, Y, or Z has got an allergy. It's like, I've got a nut allergy, but I don't want them to stop giving out nuts on a plane. OK,
but your mother didn't breastfeed you at the Bruce Springsteen concert.
No, she said
you might have a packet of nuts. All right, let's quickly go to Jackie in Carmarthenshire. Hi, Jackie, we haven't got much time, but you breastfed your daughter till she was 2.5. And did that work out well for the 2 of you?
Yes, it did. I think mainly I went that at a time. It was more of a comfort thing for my daughter and myself. I work sort of part-time, and it was just nice to have that time together. When the teeth came along, yes, that was a little bit of a shock, and my daughter used to look at me with her eyes, straight at my eyes, and she knew that the teeth were a little bit of a problem. But really...
Was it easy to wean her when she was 2.5, or was that something of a wrench for both of you?
Oh, no, it was easy. It was easy. She went to a nursery then, and it was the right time to finish. But out of 4 children, she was the only one I breastfed that long.
And the others will resent you forever. You realise that, don't you, Jackie? They'll never forgive you. Maybe don't tell them. I know you've told me, don't tell them that, because they might not like it. Thank you so much for calling.